They're working on it? Okay.
So if you want to start, we can start without it being recorded,
Okay,
right?
good.
All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the COA Board of Directors meeting on May 20th, 2026 at 9:35. May I have a motion to open the meeting?
So moved. A second.
Okay. Any discussion?
Recording in progress.
Oh, start over again. Start over again.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Groveland Council on Aging Board of Directors meeting on May 20th, 2026. May I have a motion to open the meeting at 9:35?
So moved. A second.
Okay. All in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you. Let's do introductions. Start with Alyssa.
Alyssa Lee, Director.
Barbara Sanborn, Vice Chair.
Deb Stevenson, Treasurer. Laurel Paholsky, Board Member.
Irene Thomas, Secretary. Linda Workman, Board Member.
Sharon Hines, Board Chair. May I have a volunteer to read the mission? Thank you, Laurel.
The mission of the Council on Aging is to advocate for Groveland's older adults, to identify their needs, to develop and implement services to meet their health, economic, social, and cultural needs, to encourage maximum independence, and to improve their quality of life.
Thank you. Next up is the approval of the meeting minutes for April 15th, 2026. Has everyone had a chance to read those? Okay.
So moved.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Thank you. All right, on to the director's report.
Good morning. Thank you all so much for being here. Appreciate your time on this gorgeous summer day. A few highlights, to start us off. April was very similar in regards to volume to March. There were some notable increases specifically in food access demand and transportation. Pantry rose significantly both in the visits, 141 pantry visits, as well as the pounds distributed corresponded well. New participant growth. We had 8 new people join us for participating in COA at various levels. And overall, like we said, a pretty stable number of people that attended both in March and April. Then we have the breakdown, similar as we've seen in past months. Again, no real giant shifts there. And then the details are in the back of the packet. So for reflection, I know many of you were there at the Music and Connection concert that we had in April with the Pentucket musicians. We had musicians from the choir and chamber group, string chamber group. This year was a little bit different in that, we invited them not only to perform, but also to stay with us and to have dessert after they performed. And I think what began with some amount of hesitation of the high school students wanting to sit down and join us in dessert. I think it really turned into genuine conversation, certainly a lot of laughter in the room as well. And I think about the 2 young women that I think were sitting with over at Laurel's table, the teacher had to pull them away. They were so engrossed in conversation there. So it was just really awesome to see. I know. So I had a really wonderful time. It was clear the kids also had a really great time, and I hope all of our community members did, and I hope it's something that we can repeat, perhaps in similar fashion, but maybe we can add on and do something different in the year ahead. So yeah, thank you for that. Financial update. So we are just a couple months before we close out the end of the year. Again, stable position. We've received about 97% of our projected revenue to date. We do have the Mass DOT grant still outstanding in regards to reimbursement. That'll bring in $5,000. We do have, a couple of one really big year-end event, our engagement celebration on June 20th, and so certainly that will be some larger expenses right at the end of the year as well. But other than that, I think we are on track to do as we projected. One area that I am keeping an eye on, as I'm sure you all are as well, transportation-related cost and gas. It's a lot. So those are certainly top of mind. I do have all of our, for next month, I plan to sort of see what we're tracking in regards to how much mileage and gas we're getting. And I, again, don't anticipate by any means that we would make changes to the cost unless that was the conversation we had. I think at this point, just merely watching it and being mindful of perhaps, how we're going to plan moving forward in regards to trips and things like that. Again, I don't want to scare anyone that we're not going to do X, Y, and Z, but we do want to be mindful of what we're spending and how we're using it for. So, yeah. Any questions on finance? You all know, FY27 budget was approved at town meeting on April 27th. All of those materials are online for people to review as they would like. Cancellation policy. So we had a thoughtful conversation at our last meeting. We said that we would just follow up here. For me, I think as administrator, it was nice just to have a policy that I felt, we could use as a foundation and back up for reasoning. And it was also great that we were able to put some of those words into the newsletter as well, so that when people did call, it wasn't a wishy-washy, I think we're going to do this or that, but it really was, in fact, they told me, okay, I remember I read X, Y, Z. I assume that's what's going to happen. Yes, it is. and we move forward. So I think it worked out fairly well, how we did it, just sort of written into the newsletter with each of the programs. But if you all have any feedback as participants and or friends and family that may have responded in any way, happy to hear that too. No?
No.
Okay. Professional development update. So last week on May 13th, the MCOA, which is the Massachusetts Council on Aging group, had their spring symposium in Worcester. So a few takeaways for me was around some programming ideas, including an open mic night, which I thought was really fun. I already have a community member who would be interested if we decided to go forward in something like that. The community that presented on it, they do it once a month around the 5-6 o'clock hour. They do 6 slots, 10 minutes each, and they sort of, people sing, people say poetry, people, I think, have told jokes, so any of that kind of stuff. They've had a really good response, so something to consider. Another program that was highlighted that they thought was successful was around the Pen Pal program, which we will see later in the issues report is also successful here as well. So 2 great things to think of. I also came away with some ideas for Memory Cafe and the upcoming cognition stimulation therapy program. That was from our keynote speaker. It was all about laugh therapy. I think the session was really intended for the attendees to take a break and relax, but I was like, oh, this would be great for some of our programming, because we oftentimes open up both of those things with some sort of movement activity, as well as just sort of getting our mind set and prepared to be in the present. So that was a lot of fun. Oh, and then also attended a program that talked about estate planning and how ADUs, trusts, and life living wills can really impact, your medical bills and long-term care. And so I learned a lot there, but what really sparked me was to have somebody come in here and do a similar presentation so that people can learn that firsthand from someone. So it was great stuff. Appreciated the opportunity to go. I applied to a grant recently from the Massachusetts Cultural Council. It was requesting $5,000 for a project called Seen and Heard Older Adults of Groveland. It was an idea I actually got from another COA probably a couple years ago, but essentially a photographer that I've already been in contact with. Older adults would have their picture taken by a professional photographer. We'd have prompts if needed, but people could certainly write their own, but something to sort of describe themselves, something, is what's something people tend to get wrong about you, or what brings you joy, or really any sort of thing like that then we would attach to the picture to celebrate the voices and lived experience of older adults here in Groveland, while also gently challenging those assumptions of getting older. And hopefully this would sort of work around Ageism Awareness Day in October. So we'll keep you posted on that. Moving on, I just wanted to highlight that, something that I'm sure has been going on for many years behind the scenes administratively, but nonetheless important, is our annual NEAT agreement, or MOU. So we've signed the FY26 MOU, which continues, enables us to continue participation in the NEAT program. So I know you are all very familiar with how the NEAT transportation works for residents, but just wanted to share a little bit more about the structure of the MOU. So it does have a modest fee, and it's based on usage. This year, that fee was $480. It tied to 276 completed resident trips, so that's just about $1.74 a ride. So a pretty good service. Also wanted to note the contribution of the volunteer drivers. They provided 5,800 miles and 330 hours during that period. So
Wow.
good stuff.
Wow.
Engagement, celebration, and symposium. Just a quick update. So June 20th, the event is coming together great. Super excited about how it's shaping up. Registration's open. If you haven't visited the website yet, please do so. It gives you the full lineup in regards to agenda, our sponsors, the resource tables, all that good stuff. So do take a look and encourage people to register. At this point, we've secured about just under $6,000 in sponsorship support. Still have a few leads out there, so hoping to get a few more before the program happens to make it all come together. So we have a strong mix of movement, practical planning, brain health and wellness. Of course, Dr. John Ziesel as our keynote speaker, and looking forward to connecting with him as we plan for the event in the coming weeks. And then promotion is underway. There's digital outreach happening. We're planning to drop the postcard the first week of June. And word of mouth seems to be going great too. So if any thoughts or questions on that, more than happy to talk. So next is the Assistant Director's report from Nisha. So she had her outreach meeting from MCOA. It was focused on SNAP-related changes and challenges, in regards to just the continuous changes and challenges, I guess, of things being updated. I do believe the updates will start in 27, so we do have time to work out those kinks. The Pen Pal program continues to be a bright spot. They had 22 older adults and 22 first graders participating this year. They had a in-person meetup at the fire station not too long ago, which was awesome. As we talked about, briefly, the pantry is just really heavily used, continuing to grow and grow each month. She mentions in her report the addition of donated pet food and supplies, which we've seen a need for, because certainly pets are very much a part of our life and family, and we want to be able to support them as well. So great stuff. And lastly, we are excited that the Veg Out Mobile Market, part of the Nourishing the North Shore program, has been officially approved by the Select Board. They have their permit. Nisha attended the Select Board meeting along with the Executive Director of Nourishing the North Shore to answer all the questions about what's going to be happening so the Select Board could approve the permit. Just a reminder that the info session is on June 1st here in this room at 1:30 p.m. and then the markets start in June. The first one is Tuesday, June 9th at 10 o'clock and runs from 10 to 11:30. It will be outside under the tent behind the police fire station complex out there. So, yeah.
Under the tent?
Yes. So the town
Veg
will
Out
be.
brings the tent?
I'm sorry?
Does Veg Out?
No, the town will be putting up the tent.
Okay.
Yeah, we will not be using it for programming this year, but it will be, I think, much more used by the Veg Out program this year. So,
Yes, that's, okay, great.
yep. Yeah,
Backtrack and ask
Please.
a question for the symposium.
yeah.
Usually we need some volunteers,
Yeah.
or will you be sending out an email, or
Yes.
how do you want to work that?
Yeah, so I do send out sort of that monthly volunteer email, but if you all would like to, if anyone would like to connect with me about what they would like to do, I'm more than happy to put you down. So thank
Great.
you.
Thank you.
And then just a quick reminder about the Reframing Aging workshop held by the MCOA. We, have decided that some number of us would be going on Tuesday, June 9th. It starts at 9 o'clock in Salem. I currently have Sharon, Laurel, Barbara, Irene, and Linda signed up. But if anything's changed or if other people want to join, just let me know. I do need to make reservations, I think, at the end of this week.
I didn't sign up
Okay.
because I can't.
Okay.
No, did I sign
I-
up? That one?
Okay.
Sorry, I
No
can't
worries.
make it that damn one. Whoa, wait a minute.
All right. And then lastly, just wanted to acknowledge that we had our appreciation lunch last month. It was a really, really wonderful event. We held it at the Black Swan. 36 attendees joined us. It was just a really lovely afternoon, great atmosphere, great food, great people, and we celebrated those people who, as you all, as volunteers, appreciate it, just consistently show up and allow the COA to continue to do its mission. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And just one day of celebration, but know that we truly appreciate all of you, all of our volunteers year round, because again, we could not do what we do without you. So appreciate it. It was also really nice to have speakers show up. Larry from the Friends, Sharon here on our board chair, and also Rebecca, our town administrator, to show appreciation for everyone as well. So thank you all for making that happen.
Thank you, Alyssa. Very, very detailed, very concise. A lot of good things in there, exciting things. All right, on to other business. Committee updates, subcommittee updates. Anything on finance? Nope. Okay, thank you. Personnel? No updates. Okay, thank you.
Excellent.
And nominating.
So I just spoke to Rebecca. Typically, what happens in with the Select Board is at their meeting right prior to the beginning of the new fiscal year, July 1st. The Select Board reappoints or appoints all committee members from every committee on town, and then they know, what openings are there, et cetera. So I explained to her that according to our bylaws, we vote on, at our meeting, which is the third Wednesday of June, we vote on who's going to take what positions. And so, for instance, if Sharon, who needs to be reappointed, decides she wants to continue as chair, we can't really vote on her because she hasn't been reappointed yet. So Rebecca will speak to the chair of the Select Board today. They're having a meeting, and ask if we can be on earlier, at an earlier meeting, just, the 3 people that need to be reappointed. And if not, she didn't think it would be an issue to have us just do it, we can do the voting. She said, really, the reappointing, it's not like people banging on the doors for positions. So that was why they do it in one fell swoop instead of every committee. It's easier, takes less time to do,
Makes sense.
list all the names, COA, all the Recreation Committee, Groveland Day, and do everybody and approve.
Couldn't we just vote at our June meeting contingent upon reappointment by
Yes.
the Board of Selectmen?
Yes.
And then nobody has to change anything?
Then it's not,
The selectmen
we
can
could
still
do
do it
that.
when
Well,
they wanted to?
we'll see what happens. She's going to meet today, and one of the selectmen or Select Board was in there too.
But if,
And,
if
he said
not, that
it's-
seems to me like a pretty simple solution. We
Right.
just vote contingent on reappointment.
Right.
And if for some reason someone doesn't get reappointed, then we have to fill the position, just like we
Exactly.
would if someone resigned. right?
Exactly. That's what I told her. I said, why don't we just do it that way? And she said, oh, no, let me try it this way. So, I don't know which way it's going to happen, but, yeah, it will be done. But that's, because their meetings are so intense now, so long. I mean, to have every month have, that everyone has to be reappointed at this point for the fiscal year. So, anyway, that was the report on that.
Okay.
Yes, in June, we will be voting on the positions, so please consider if you'd like to continue in your position, or if there's someone here who would like to take on one of the positions, we can go from there. But we will, at that meeting, we will bring it up again, and, okay, who wants to be. But please consider it in the meantime. That's my report.
Thank you. Thank you, Laurel, for following through on all that.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I was just trying to keep in tune with our bylaws, which say, but,
Okay. Okay, thank you. All right, and I apologize to Larry. I did not have him introduce himself, but you are up next.
it's a standing seat here.
No need to apologize. I usually introduce myself when I get here. My name is Larry McElhenney. I'm president of the Friends of the Groveland Council on Aging. We are a fundraising group for the Council on Aging, and we just completed a pretty successful, or haven't finished the month, but have had 2 major fundraisers this month. And between our community townwide yard sale, and the community concert held last Saturday at Bagnell, we raised over $2,000, which, is pretty significant. And I want to thank certainly the volunteers that helped put all this together. Some faces sitting right at this table had big roles in this. And I want to thank the community certainly for the support. And I also want to thank the Rivers Edge Credit Union for covering our expenses, which were pretty significant for the concert. Our yard sale participation in 2025, we had 33 sites, and this year we bumped it up to 46. We redid signs, remade all the signs, freshened them up, and put a banner up on the bridge. But we still had people that, even though we feel that we had enough signage, that there wasn't quite enough. And people would say, I didn't know about this when I was driving around visiting, and how could you miss it? Is my, but I guess people did. So anyhow, it's been a very successful month. The concert we had last week was great. Unfortunately, having a concert in the middle of May during graduation and banquet season and all of the things, Mrs. O'Connor, the music teacher, was dismayed that only 15 students showed up out of her chorus. And I said, that was just a matter of timing, when we had the participation of the Bagnell Chorus at our fall, the holiday concert that we had in, I think it was November. We had the full chorus, and that was a lot of fun. So we want to continue that relationship, sort of what happened with the program with the Pentucket students coming in and performing and staying after. After the concert, there was a lot of interaction going on, both concerts. So that's something that we will continue as a fundraiser. It's been very good for us and for the community. Upcoming, we are bringing back our summer coin drive. There will be a vessel out in the lobby for collecting coins, and pennies are a big topic this year because the manufacture of pennies has stopped, and people seem to be hoarding because stores everywhere are short on pennies. And we have someone in the community that has offered for any pennies that we collect that he will pay 2 cents for every 1 cent. So $1 worth of pennies will get the Friends $2 worth of funds raised. So that's a nice thing. So wanted to get that out there. So hold on to your pennies and drop them off at Town Hall. We'd appreciate it. And finally, I was at the volunteer luncheon last month, and I got up and kind of got off on a tangent, and I don't think I actually ever thanked the volunteers that I work with, and that we together have really had a very successful year for the Friends. There's a core group of about 16 of us that show up at the meetings and show up and do all of the tasks that need to happen, from advertisement to taking money to doing I already said the advertisement, but getting people in and out the door, feeding them, having them have a fun time. It's a great group of people. So I really appreciate having that opportunity to work with that special group. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Well, I just think Larry deserves a lot of gratitude for attracting a group of volunteers who are willing to do their part, some of whom go way above and beyond at times when a yard sale gets rained upon and things, uncontrollable things like that. So thank you for bringing new life and having it be so successful and productive.
Good leadership.
All right, next, community survey results.
Do we want to table this until
Oh, well, we
the
have,
second
Oh,
community presentation is made and more information is gathered?
Sure. I didn't have necessarily anything more to add at this point. So if you would like, I wasn't sure if there were, after you all have had an opportunity to really dig into the material, if you wanted to discuss that, by all means. But yeah, I appreciate the feedback that you sent me directly, though.
And there is one more community information session tomorrow afternoon at 3?
Yep, Thursday, 3 o'clock, absolutely, in this room.
it's a good opportunity to share your voice, your concerns, and your feedback from the survey results.
Do you have people signed up for Thursday, RSVP'd for Thursday's session that have not already gone?
Yeah, so on Monday's session, we had about 14. A number of you all were there. Yeah, Thursdays looks to be pretty small, but there are a couple new people, but like literally maybe just one or two. Yeah.
And then what is the plan for presenting to town administration? Once, I know we wanted to wait until we had the feedback sessions.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what's the plan for that?
So I'm hoping that absolutely we can make a presentation geared towards select board and I really think some of the other committees as well. You know, recreation committee would be useful. But I know I would love to have that conversation here as a board to hear your insights, because I think you all gave some pretty detailed information and would love to make sure that is included in how we frame the presentation for these boards. But yeah.
I would just recommend, I think we need to do a schedule, like at this meeting. Like, when are we gonna
Yeah.
discuss?
Yeah,
When do
love
we
that.
wanna present? When do we start hopefully taking some action on some of the things that may be actionable?
Yeah, because I think, well, one of the points of feedback, that Deb had given, was hopefully, and this was the goal, right, all along, was to use the survey as strategic movements forward. So for us to be able to have that conversation, to be able to work into our presentation, okay, this is what we got and what we're gonna do. What are you gonna do? Kind of thing too. Yeah.
So have the, like the rec committee, people like this, or select board, have they been individually invited to attend, say, Thursday's meeting? Or have they received what we received to say this is the survey results? So that or somebody.
No, again, I know you had asked this question at the meeting that, yeah, so at last board meeting, we had said that these meetings were going to be specifically for the older adult community in Groveland. And so then, if we were to receive any additional feedback, we will include that in the presentation that we would then give to those committee members.
It's just going, how to say it, they will not see what we saw
They can absolutely see it.
before, or have they had eyes on this?
Not yet.
Not yet, okay.
So after
the presentation.
after Thursday's meeting, I'll put it online. But yeah,
Just so that, because I think it's a lot to read through, and I would think people would want to be informed by reading it, and then, like, we had a chance to read through it, mull over it, think if there was something else, or wow, what stood out,
yeah.
and
So yeah, but I'm thinking to Deb's point though, if we could figure out what we as a COA want to do with that information,
what our focuses
would be
are.
really helpful in conversations
I'm not
moving
sure
forward.
I mean, if they want it, they can certainly, it's public information.
Yeah,
I'm not
Right.
sure we need to send that to every rec committee member, frankly, I don't think most of them will look at it, because they don't have time.
Right, right.
They have their own
Yeah.
things that they're doing, but I think the summary.
Yeah.
And inviting them to once we
yeah,
done, and then inviting them to a similar meeting as Monday afternoon's meeting, with the information
yeah,
up there. And, I think there's things, there's definitely things that we can't fix sidewalks.
yep,
Right.
That was an issue. We can't, well, we probably could, put up shade, along walking paths. There's things that we are just out of our purview.
yeah, yeah,
We need to let the town know that this is an issue for, however many people it's an issue for, and that it's come to our attention. And
Yeah.
property taxes, I mean, that's something we can certainly communicate existing programs. We can do that. We can't change what the town
Well-
offers. We can advocate,
Yeah.
and we can meet with the appropriate people. We can't do it in a silo. So I think
Yeah.
that we need to say, I mean, I would like to recommend that, we need to decide that.
Yeah.
What do we want to say? What do we think we can do? What do we think we need help with?
Mm-hmm.
Who do we need to bring into that to do that? And then
Yeah.
we probably move forward.
Absolutely.
I just don't want it to, and the whole, as Alyssa said, the reason we did this survey wasn't just for fun, because we were bored and we wanted to go do this. It was to inform where we go as a board and what our strategic thinking is. So I don't want to lose the momentum.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think too, emphasizing friendly collaboration will be key, because there are things that we'll need to work together with
Yeah.
various departments, boards, and I think going in, just creating a collaborative environment.
Well, I think, absolutely, and just information sharing, but knowing who we're going to meet with, and again, having the details of what we can take on and where we would like help. Not even like, but need, help and or them to do it on their own is imperative to move this forward and for our community to feel, again, heard and value, and that this was worth all of our time. Not to say that everything needs to be acted on, but I think a lot of times we don't know what we don't know, right? And so does our community know how we're aging, so to plan accordingly. I think just the population stats alone, I think is really helpful for some foresight into how we continue to develop the town.
Knowing that about 1/3 of the town's population is aged 60 or older, I would think that's significant information for everyone who works in this town hall to be aware of. I think you have a sort of leadership meeting once a month of everybody who's involved. Is that a possible forum for the basic outcomes of this survey so that people in those roles can listen and know, oh, maybe that's an area that I should give more attention to? I have no
I
clue.
think it sounds like a good idea and I can bring that up to Rebecca. I like the idea.
I mean, it's 1/3 of the population of the whole town. Shouldn't we pay attention?
And they're all of voting age.
Oh, well, that's another, that's a powerful point.
voting age.
Yeah, I mean, I think that stat, I mean, at least we have talked about it, right? Every time we get the formula grant about how many community members, are 60 plus. I think something that, one, ageism in general, right? It's never going to be me. It's never going to happen to me. I'm not going to plan for it. Is a huge reality in life, as we've seen in a number of meetings at Town Hall. And I also think, looking at the data, is that not only is that bump going up, but the oldest of our older adults by 2050 is significant. And so that will have an impact on not only the COA, but on the town as a whole, and we need to be able to plan for that. Yeah.
So we've had a discussion. Do we want to continue our next meeting to after the Thursday? We'll hopefully get more information on Thursday. Do we want to do that? To also continue the discussion?
set a
At next
timeline
meeting.
kind of thing for,
Right.
like, I think that's what Deb was trying to say, is like, you know, have a timeline, so by such and such a time or month, we would have, you know, gathered everything, the next time, we would have our meeting, plan for a meeting,
Mhm.
follow up on that. Is that what you were suggesting? Having a,
I'm just saying I want to schedule, I guess, I don't,
you're a scheduled person.
I like to know that we have it on the agenda, that it's not going to get,
That, yeah.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
you know,
I'm-
ignored.
Wondering, and maybe it's two separate things, but I feel like this could be a conversation that could, a really great conversation that could go into depth quite a bit. And I feel like we had a great conversation when we were outside of town hall. Still took minutes and still open and all that good stuff. But just a different kind of feel when we were up at VC, if that might be worthwhile.
I agree, absolutely.
This could be this year's
Yeah.
Mhm.
focus of our strategic planning.
Yeah.
Survey results. Perfect idea, I think. Get the fun of finding a date.
Right.
Separate from this meeting, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did we want to do it before the June meeting then, do you think?
I know I'm not here for the June meeting. We're going to be traveling, because that's June 17th, right? That's what I just was checking on my phone. I think our next meeting is June 17th, and I'm away. So, I mean, I would be happy to do it probably an earlier, I mean, Wednesdays usually work for me. Not sure about everyone else. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm never available.
So that would be Wednesday, June 3rd, or Wednesday, June 10th?
Yeah, I mean, June 10th, maybe?
Yeah, that one's good for me.
Is that-
Mhm.
do you- And, yeah, if we could get, I wonder if we can get VZ. Can
Yeah,
you-
I can ask.
On that?
Should that be, next step is ask what times they're available, and then we'll take
Yeah.
it from there?
I
Okay.
mean, it's fine. I don't know if anyone has any other conflicts on June 10th.
Not at this moment.
Right now, I have a whole free day.
Wow.
Doesn't that feel good?
Well, it's not gonna once we schedule this, but it felt really good when I opened my calendar. And so the only thing I had to do was approve invoices that day. Great.
Awesome, thank you.
Same time, like
I'm free
9:30?
until 4 o'clock all day.
Oh, well, she's good.
I was just gonna ask VC what time,
Okay.
Mhm.
so we'll-
but it sounds like morning would work best
Yes,
for you all?
yes,
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, any more discussion? All right, next up is discussion of COA board goals.
Can we just move along to Pillar 3, the welcoming packet?
Yes. Yeah.
While we're doing
Linda, can you pass
distributing,
this on to
was there
Rebecca?
something other, I see under other business, other cancellation policy? Wanted us to approve or anything?
No,
or that-
can we just
Okay.
table? I mean, we
Yeah, no,
got
I just
feedback.
see that on
Yeah.
that, yeah, no, because we skipped over that, that's all.
Okay. Oops, no. So I have, we prepared the subcommittee for doing Pillar 3, the welcoming packet, has prepared 4 prototypes. So Barbara, Sharon, and I worked to prepare these. We are seeking, please be our friendly critics, we are seeking input on what more should be included, what should be revised, should something be deleted, with the goal of, by the June meeting, hopefully having a completed board member packet for every board member to be able to have and hold on to. So in the front pocket of the binder, we felt it should include the most recent engagement for a new member to be informed, the brochure from the Council on Aging, the most recent director's report for someone coming on new, and perhaps the most recent 2 secretary minutes to be informed of reasonable past, present, and short-term future. Okay? Any feedback, input? Yes?
And maybe just how they can get to reading former minutes if they wanted to on the town website.
Okay,
Because sometimes going back a few months, you get to know, oh, they've been discussing, well,
okay.
because your minutes are very thorough, but if it's something that's an ongoing, what's a pillar? I don't know, or whatever. Just how they can get to that information.
And also, what I found helpful when I was coming on is I watched past meetings on YouTube.
And how to do that
Yes.
on YouTube.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that was really helpful.
Yes, on Groveland TV, YouTube, yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Good. So now I wonder if that's something that should go on the first, I call these the guts. So on the first page in the guts is the welcome to serving on the COA Board of Directors. And that might be a good place to include how to get the minutes on the town website and the suggestion to watch past meetings. What, okay? All right. So why don't you take a minute and read this and give us input? Oh, good. I know, I looked at it 14 times.
I know.
Good, thank you. We'll get there.
Hmm?
We'll get there.
Yeah, no. Is this
No,
something? That's
this is
scrap
my
paper.
prototype, so I was trying not to waste paper.
Okay, no, so, I'm done, yeah. So you're gonna be, every month you'd be, oh, you're saying these are for us or for new?
They're for anybody who's a board member. So while you're a board member, you keep the binder. When you leave the board,
You pass
we
it on.
update it for the next person coming in.
So we would be responsible putting this in?
Yes.
Yes.
So you
okay,
could,
gotcha,
might
gotcha.
maybe bring
Okay,
this
thank
to
you,
a
we do that.
meeting and
Right,
keep it updated yourself.
Yes, so instead of having this little folder there,
Yes.
okay, thank you. And is that-
Any
that's it?
feedback on, besides the spelling edit on this page? That's what happens when you look at something 4 times in
That's what you
in
need.
your head.
That's why
I know,
need
you
extra
always
eyes.
need extra eyes. Okay. Next
Oh, very
page of the guts. This is from the town clerk. This will need to be updated.
Is this, okay. My address is wrong?
Oh, that's what we need to know. Well, and we also need to know if,
Our phone numbers?
if you are willing to have your phone number on there, you can send it to me.
Okay.
Yeah, we wanted to ask people first if they were.
Yes,
having their-
permission. And so Deb, your address is incorrect?
30, yeah, it's 34, not 15.
Okay, I'll let the town clerk know that. And is it okay for the town clerk to know your phone number?
Yes, I'm wondering, should we put for phone numbers, whether they're landlines or cells, so that if, like, if I gave you my landline, which I still have,
Okay,
I don't want people trying to text my landline, because they'll say,
I texted you.
I texted you, you ignored me.
Good idea.
Was it a 978-373 number?
Mm.
So maybe we should
Yes.
have, like, next to it cell or land or home or whatever you wanted to call it.
Sharon, this is your cell. that you gave me. George, I don't know. Laurel, oh, you don't, do you want it on your landline?
That's, yeah, you can do it home and then put, yeah, and put my cell fine if they want to text me. I
Okay.
might not ever see it. I don't do that a lot. But
Okay.
I can. Yeah. You have my cell.
Okay.
phone. Right.
So that could be added. Was there anybody on the back whose number we didn't have? No. Oh, we don't have Linda's.
No,
Do you only have a cell?
I have landline.
So,
That one they can use, not my cell phone.
Yeah, that's, they can use my landline too and not my cell phone.
You know what? Yeah, take my cell phone off.
okay.
But just put it that it's landline or home or whatever,
So
not cell.
let's get this straight. So Deb, you want what?
My landline, you want to write it down now?
Yes,
978-373-1453.
yes, yes. Okay. And that's your landline. Linda, you want to write yours down? Okay. And so this will have to be updated and then replaced as soon as the town, as soon as everything goes through the nominating and approving process and appointing process. So check the data.
There you go.
Do we have everybody's email here?
Yeah.
What is this number, Matt?
I don't know.
Maybe that was copied.
I
Yeah.
will have a little chat with the town clerk
Yeah,
and make sure
'cause
that
see,
we're
it says,
in agreement about things.
That's your cell phone, your email.
Yeah.
And then that stuff is like
Yeah,
her
so,
thing that she only copied parts of.
right, right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's probably just a data dump from a different column. That's
Right,
what
right.
all those pound mail twos are.
Right.
Oh, is that what happens?
That's my guess, is that when they
Well,
do.
I'm going to give you my
automatic-
Gmail account because I can't get Comcast.
Okay, that's great. Good. How are we doing with time? So, if there's, yeah. And then we were including this resource from Alyssa, clearly stating the roles and responsibilities for Board of Directors, Council on Aging, and Friends. You've seen this before.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
nothing
yeah,
new.
There's nothing, it's just.
Nothing new.
as we've had, right.
And then on the back, there was the description. So we thought that was important information.
And this is the bylaws.
And then we are including the bylaws.
Okay, it was
Oh,
on-
and then after the bylaws, because the bylaws include the subcommittees and their responsibilities, it was suggested to have the current members and the responsibilities. Okay?
Yes.
And it was suggested to have common acronyms, and so Barbara organized these and was very grateful to Alyssa for her input.
Yes. I never knew what SHINE stood for.
I didn't either. I was just, so the same thing, Laura. I was just about.
Oh, there's a word for, I just
I
thought it
never-
was like SHINE.
Yeah.
Shine can be so helpful.
But I didn't know what the acronym was for.
And then we included the strategic plan
Good.
for the COA, as well as the strategic plan on the next page for the board.
And that would have to be updated, because this
And
was, yeah.
most everything would be.
Mhm.
And then, I just gave a sample of how I was keeping my information. And that's the end of the guts. Does anybody have anything more that he or she feels should be included in the three-ring binder part?
I just wanted to note that the engagement newsletter, the reason that we thought it was important to put that in there was not only to let people know about, all the events, but that also has the list of board members in there. It has financial information in the director's report. There's a lot of other information between those two documents that we didn't cover separately because they're all in the newsletter. And with the understanding that these binders belong to each board member while you're on the board. When things change, make your own notes, do what you want with it, add what you want, delete, well, don't delete anything, please, without referring. And then when you're on the board, it comes back to whatever committee at that time is working on it to be updated and given to the next board member.
So I think it would be great if we came with it, once we get these, come with this every time and say, okay, we've updated X, Y, Z. Take out page 7, here's the new one, put it in, so that all of us have the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I know, yes,
Rather
we can
than
be
just-
responsible, but,
Yeah.
I mean, I went through this folder recently, look how, I had stuff in there, it's like, I don't need this anymore. This was from 2024, I have it in my computer. So, I think that's keeping it updated that way, and where we're all on the same page, so that, let's say I leave and there's a new person, I am handing over a folder that's
Up to
what
date.
everyone else has, yes, yes.
I think it looks great, and thank you
And
very much.
Yes, thank you for the
Everybody that
good
worked
work.
on it, I think it looks very good. I think it's a big step forward.
And the back pocket has the packet that a member gets from the town clerk.
Yeah.
So we would also be staying in contact with the town clerk to make sure there's accurate and updated information. So it's got all the ethics.
Ethics,
I mean, it's everything that one needs to know for success.
Oh, one other thing, it's mentioned in the welcome letter that each new board member will be not assigned, but you'll have like a buddy, a mentor on the board that you can go to and ask. I mean, you can always ask questions of anybody, but there'll be a specific person that you can go to, a new board member can go to with questions or thoughts or anything, kind of like a buddy system.
Oh, thank you, this is very
Yeah, I think it's
professionally
very
put
good.
together, yes.
And you may be getting an email from one of us as we go through to make these complete for, hopefully for June, possibly for July, if that needs to happen, so that we have these to be as complete and accurate as possible.
Do you want us to return these
Yes.
to you now so that you can make
Yes.
your edits?
Yeah.
My suggestion would be do it in July, where it's the new fiscal year, and you'll have everybody who's what, and who, and,
Okay,
approved, and, right?
yep,
The list, start clean slate.
all right.
This will be changing papers right away, maybe.
If you think of something more that you think should be in here to be for complete information, please let Sharon, Barbara, or me know. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, excellent.
Don't you like this
I
nice
love the bright
array of
colors.
colors that Barbara found?
Amazon.
I want the green.
Very good.
Okay. All right, if there isn't anything else,
Sorry. I'm wondering for next meeting, or maybe it's during a planning meeting, as part of my director certification, they ask that the board reviews and also votes on mission statement. So, I don't know, we probably haven't looked at the mission statement
Probably
in
not,
a
a
while,
long
so,
time.
yeah.
At the next meeting?
Whenever
Bylaws.
fits well,
We changed
But-
it when we did the bylaws. I-
yeah.
There were a couple of words we changed when we went through that, but.
So for the director's certification, you need us to revisit the mission statement and what else?
Vote to approve it, I
Okay.
guess.
All right.
Were we supposed to do our little assessment worksheets this time around?
yes, but we can wait till June, if people don't have them.
Do you want them if we have them?
Yeah, I'm thinking,
Just hold on to it?
yeah, and actually, I think probably the personnel, not the personnel committee, I'm sorry, the nominating
Nominating.
committee might be a good place to send them.
So could I just ask a question about this? That's why I didn't complete it.
Yeah.
It says name 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Are we supposed, I'm supposed to put down all of your names across and say what you have? No, just myself.
Just you.
Thank you. That's
Nominating-
where I went. I'm like,
that's
well,
what
I
I
don't
did, just
know.
my own.
Oh, I could, all right. I would've
Nominating
done
can
that.
So
collect.
then whoever puts it all together would fill it out.
Yeah.
How this person, okay, thank you, because I'm like, I don't want to say they do this when I don't know.
Since I'm not
Yeah.
gonna be at
I
the
neglected
meeting,
to
can I
bring
take
mine.
mine
Yes,
now?
I'll take yours now. And is it, have your name?
We've got a time issue.
Okay, great. I moved, oh, are we closing?
Yes. We have a motion to close the meeting.
Make
and
a motion to close the meeting
I'll
at
second it.
10:35 a.m.
All in favor? All right. Next scheduled meeting is June 17th.
Oh, did I not do that?
You
Oh,
did.
Yeah, June 17th, okay.
Right, and you'll let us know if June 10th works. Thank you.
Fabulous.
Where you going? Where you traveling? Oh, sorry.
I'll try to remember.